Walk into almost any hardware store and look at the power tool aisle. Milwaukee, DeWalt, Ryobi, Craftsman. Different brands, different colors, different price points. It looks like a competitive market. But the structure behind those brands is far simpler than it appears, because much of the power tool industry is controlled by just two corporate groups, and one of the most successful professional tool brands in modern history was built largely by repainting existing tools and changing the name on the box. To understand how that happened, we have to go back to the early 1990s, because the modern power tool market wasn't shaped by a single invention. It was shaped by strategy. Chapter 1. The DeWalt Strategy. In the late 1980s, the company Black & Decker had a problem. Technically, the company was extremely powerful. It had global manufacturing capacity, it had strong retail relationships, and it had decades of experience building tools. But among professional contractors, its reputation had weakened. Black & Decker had become associated with consumer products. Drills for homeowners, kitchen appliances, weekend DIY tools. For professionals working on construction sites, the brand simply didn't signal durability anymore. Contractors were choosing other brands. So Black & Decker faced a choice. They could spend years trying to rebuild the brand's reputation among professionals, or they could try something entirely different. They chose the second option. Instead of repairing the reputation of Black & Decker, the company revived an old industrial brand it already owned. That brand was DeWalt. The name came from Raymond DeWalt, the inventor of the radial arm saw in the 1920s. But by the 1980s, the brand had largely faded away. Black & Decker brought it back. Chapter 2. Building a new identity. In 1992, the DeWalt professional tool line officially launched. But the strategy wasn't just about a new name. Everything about the product was designed to signal professional credibility. The tools were redesigned for heavy job site use. Packaging was completely different. And perhaps most importantly, the tools were placed inside bright yellow housings. Yellow wasn't chosen randomly. Construction equipment like bulldozers and excavators often used similar colors. The colors signaled industrial strength. But the most important detail was what wasn't on the product. The name Black & Decker was almost completely removed. To professional contractors, DeWalt looked like a brand new company. Within just a few years, the strategy worked. DeWalt became one of the fastest-growing professional tool brands in North America. Not because the company reinvented power tools, but because it reinvented how the tools were positioned. Chapter 3. The Segmentation Strategy. The success of DeWalt revealed an important principle used throughout consumer industries. Different groups of customers respond to different brand identities. Professional contractors, homeowners, entry-level buyers. Each group looks for different signals of quality and value. Instead of serving everyone under one brand, corporations often create multiple brands. From the outside, these brands appear to compete with each other, but internally, they operate under the same corporate structure. In the power tool industry, two corporations became especially influential using this strategy. Stanley Black & Decker and Techtronic Industries, often called TTI. Together, these two companies control a large share of the global power tool market, and each one operates multiple brands targeting different types of customers. Chapter 4. The Rise of Tool Conglomerates. Over the past several decades, the power tool industry has undergone significant consolidation. Instead of dozens of independent companies competing equally, large corporations began acquiring established brands. These acquisitions allowed companies to combine manufacturing systems, distribution networks, research and development, retail relationships. For consumers, the result looks like variety. Hardware store shelves filled with different logos and tool colors, but behind those logos, many brands share the same corporate parent. For example, Stanley Black & Decker controls brands such as DeWalt Craftsman, Stanley Black & Decker. Meanwhile, Techtronic Industries owns brands including Milwaukee, Ryobi Rigid for certain product lines. Each brand targets a specific segment of the market. Ryobi focuses on homeowners and DIY users. DeWalt and Milwaukee target professionals. Craftsman sits somewhere in between. From the outside, it appears like intense competition, but in many cases, these brands operate inside the same corporate ecosystem. Chapter 5. The Battery Platform Revolution. The most important technological shift in modern power tools wasn't a stronger motor. It was cordless batteries. Battery-powered tools changed how construction sites operated. Workers no longer needed extension cords everywhere. Tools became portable and faster to deploy. But cordless tools introduced a powerful economic concept: the battery platform. Each manufacturer created its own battery system. DeWalt batteries only power DeWalt tools. Milwaukee batteries power Milwaukee tools. Ryobi batteries power Ryobi tools. And these systems are rarely compatible with each other. Once a customer invests in one platform, switching becomes expensive. If a contractor owns 10 tools and 5 batteries from one brand, switching means replacing everything. Chapter 6. The Craftsman Story. Some brands in the tool industry carry decades of cultural history. One of the most famous is Craftsman. For most of the 20th century, Craftsman tools were closely associated with Sears. They became a symbol of American home workshops. Mechanics, hobbyists, and homeowners trusted the brand. But as Sears declined in the 2000s, the future of Craftsman became uncertain. Then, in 2017, Stanley Black & Decker acquired the Craftsman brand. The company planned to revive it with broader distribution and new product lines. But restoring a historic brand in a modern global supply chain is complicated. Manufacturing today is spread across multiple countries. Production costs, logistics, and materials are far different than they were decades ago. Preserving the reputation of a legacy brand is far more difficult than simply preserving its name. Chapter 7. The pressure of industrial manufacturing. Power tools operate in harsh environments. Construction sites, industrial plants, mechanical workshops. Tools must survive drops, dust, moisture, and heavy daily use. Manufacturers constantly balance several competing pressures: engineering reliability, production cost, retail pricing, manufacturing scale. As industries consolidate, those pressures become concentrated among fewer companies. A small number of corporations end up influencing product design, supply chains, retail pricing, tool ecosystems. This doesn't mean competition disappears, but it does mean the structure of the market becomes more concentrated. Chapter 8. The independent manufacturers. Despite consolidation, not every tool brand belongs to the two largest corporate groups. Several manufacturers still operate independently. One of the most prominent is Makita, a Japanese company with a large global manufacturing network. Makita was also one of the early pioneers of cordless power tools. Another major independent brand is Hilti, which focuses heavily on professional construction contractors. Then there are specialist companies. Brands like Festool focus on high-precision woodworking tools. Companies like Knipex specialize in hand tools, particularly pliers. These companies compete in more specialized markets where craftsmanship and precision are key selling points. Chapter 9. The hidden structure of modern markets. The power tool industry reflects a broader pattern seen across many modern industries. Consumers often see dozens of brands, but ownership is frequently far more concentrated. Large corporations create multiple brand identities to target different audiences, different price levels, different product lines, different marketing messages. From the outside, it looks like competition between many companies. In reality, much of the competition happens inside a few corporate groups. Understanding ownership structures reveals how markets are actually organized. Not just which product performs best, but who controls the ecosystem behind it. So the next time you walk down the power tool aisle, take a closer look. Not just at the colors, not just at the price tags, but at the structure behind the brands. Who owns the company? Which battery platform the tool belongs to? And how those ecosystems shape the choices available on the shelf. Because in modern consumer markets, competition doesn't just happen between companies. It happens between entire ecosystems those companies build. And sometimes, what looks like a crowded battlefield is actually controlled by just a few powerful players. If you enjoy uncovering the hidden stories behind everyday industries, like and subscribe for more documentaries like this.